Hello, everyone. My name is Danny, and this is my review for Only the Brave. Only the Brave, based on the true story of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, is the heroic story of a team of local firefighters who, through hope, determination, and sacrifice, become one of the most elite firefighting teams in the nation. Starring a bunch of people, the firefighters forge a unique brotherhood that comes into focus as they fight a fateful fire to protect our lives, our homes, and everything we hold dear. This is inspiring, unforgettable, powerful. This is a 2017 movie, rated PG-13, runs a little over 2 hours, and it stars Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, Jeff Bridges, James Badgedale, Taylor Kitsch, Jennifer Connelly. Well, anybody who's seen any of my reviews in the past on true stories, I don't really care for them. A, you know what's going to happen. B, it's hard to be dramatic when you know what's going to happen here and there, so you're not really involved with the movie. And C, usually the acting is horrible because they don't know how to handle what other people have done in their lives. And I haven't seen too many good true story acting jobs. The worst one in this, I'm just going to point off right off the bat, and I did not care for her, and I don't know why she keeps getting work, to be honest. I don't think I've liked one of her movies in a while, is Jennifer Connelly. She's going to be the basis of some of my notes. I just want to point that out. The guys are fine. I like Josh Brolin. I love Miles Teller. He makes movies for me a lot. There's been some that have been like little, stupid, little teenage comedy or whatever, and Miles Teller's in it, and it's amazing. So, but back to this movie. It's about firefighting, obviously. It's a true story, obviously. So we'll just get past that and act about the movie. It is a movie. It's done by actors, so we'll get there. My idea of this going in, obviously I didn't see it in theaters. This is my first time, obviously, watching it on DVD. And I don't know. I thought it was going to be more of a family film. I actually let a family member of mine borrow this before me because they saw it in theater and I didn't, and they were like, "Oh, I like that. Can I borrow it before you?" And I'm like, "Sure." I haven't seen it, so don't tell me anything about it. And this was a little too vulgar and a little bit too inappropriate to be a family film. And that was my take on it, was that it was going to be a family film. So I don't know. I wouldn't suggest it for children. It's a little violent. It's a little vulgar. There's 3 scenes of seeing somebody's backside. There's inappropriate stories. If you have any idea what they're talking about, some of the jokes are really bad. But it's between guys that are risking their lives. You have to deal with it with soldiers and now with firefighters. And I didn't really appreciate it, to be honest. The problem with Jennifer Connelly in this movie is her arguing skills. We'll call it that. Her and Josh Brolin try to balance off of each other, so they just keep raising their voice all the time, and they end up screaming at each other at the same time. and then 20 minutes later they'll have the same argument that they did in the movie 20 minutes ago. They're having it again. It's just it's stupid, and it's non-acting. That they tried to be authentic because it's real people's story, and like I said, it's hard to carry that over into a movie. You got to have some real skill to be a real person, to play a real person, and to have that emotion come out of you. And Jennifer Connelly just didn't have it, so her and Brolin's interaction together is completely awkward. The problem with this true story is that there's fast forwards, like all the time. The first one is Miles Teller, druggie, nothing, into 4 months later, he's applying for one of the best jobs on the planet. It's like, what? I'm like, all of a sudden, it just feels weird. There's no flow to it. At the end, it fast forwards 3 years. I was kind of expecting 3 days to see a funeral or something, but I don't know. It wasn't flowing correctly. I'll just say that. And my big thing about this movie, obviously, I like Miles Teller. His character, I don't know why the movie did this to him. I don't care if that's how it was in real life. It just didn't make sense in the movie. His character could not win. Like, this had to be a storyline. That when he was on drugs and doing all this stuff and he was a loser, he was being told what to do and to better his life, and his mom couldn't talk to him, and she just gave him money and told him to get out. And, that's that segment of life. That's natural, right? Okay, so then he gets this great job, and he's turning into a great person, and he's doing all these great things, but he's not around, because that's what guys do when they get great jobs, and they have to travel, and they have to be away, especially firefighting. And then we have to hear this crap about how he's never around. And so there's really no win there, and they cancel each other out to just make the movie kind of stupid at that point. And you're hearing two different arguments about the same person, and then you have to watch him struggle on knowing what to do, because all he wants to do is what the people around in his circle are telling him to do, and he can't make his own decision. And then obviously what happens in the rest of the movie happens, and it's just irrelevant. So then we had to suffer all that time for nothing. And then I told you about Brolin and Connelly doing the same argument. That ends up being irrelevant. We have to watch that torture, and then it ends up not mattering. And just, I'm fine with the ending. I didn't know it was going to happen. Like, I didn't know the actual story of this, and I just saw Another True Story when it came out in the theater, so nobody ever told me what the ending was, and I didn't watch any reviews, obviously, because I didn't want to watch a bunch of reviews. I saw a million trailers, but that didn't give it away either. It sucks to watch it and have them, just be having to go through this and everything. I would say it's very sad and emotional, but like I said, I didn't appreciate them fast forwarding 3 years. That's kind of awkward. And the whole dialogue after the ending, that was kind of cool to know too. Every true story kind of does that, but this one, it was kind of nice. That was kind of nice to know. One big plus on this is the fact that they're teaching teamwork, even though they do it in a vulgar way sometimes. And the whole, I guess maybe it's not just a firefighter thing, but it's a men who risk their life kind of thing. It's very much a brotherhood building kind of experience. Nicknames, for anybody watching, that's a very serious thing. When firefighters or army or policemen kind of give each other nicknames, that means they have a bond. and that means that there's a level of trust there that maybe isn't there with other occupations in this world. So the fact that it teaches us those lessons is nice, and the story, I guess, needed to be told because there was a survivor, and it's America, and it's one of the biggest losses, in the world for firefighters. The story needed to be told, but I just wish they would have gone a little bit more PG on it. I'm gonna give it a C plus. I don't really like it, but I didn't really hate it. I didn't appreciate the acting, but what can you do with a true story? You got to do what you can, do what you got to work with. So, C plus for Only the Brave. I suggest watching all these true story movies. So I would tell you to give this one a shot. My name's Danny. If you like this review or any of my others, like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video, and that's it for me. I'm going to keep these coming. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy movies.